What if the biggest reason you still can't move on isn't because she left, but because your heart replaced Allah with your pain? By the end of this video, you will know how to put Allah first without pretending your heartbreak doesn't exist. You will also discover why protecting your salat while you are bleeding is the greatest act of masculine strength a Muslim man can perform. I've lived through divorce and I know what it feels like to wake up with a heavy chest, to replay conversations, wondering what I could have done differently. I miss my children too, and I question my future. But I also discovered something that changed everything. My biggest battle wasn't against my ex-wife. It was against what my heart was beginning to worship. There was a season after my divorce when every quiet moment became dangerous. Driving alone, after work, lying in bed. My mind always returned to the same place. What is she doing now? Is she happier? Does she regret leaving? I wasn't planning my future anymore. I was living inside my past. Without realizing, every decision became connected to that wound. My emotions determined whether I trained in the gym, whether I focused at work, whether I enjoy my time with my kids. One day, after another exhausting cycle of replaying everything, I caught myself before Salat. I stood there, broken, confused, empty. And I said something I will never forget. Oh Allah, my heart hurts. But I refuse to let this pain become my God. That moment didn't remove the pain, but it completely changed who was sitting on the throne of my heart. Most men think putting Allah first means never feeling broken. It doesn't. The real test begins after your heart breaks, because heartbreak is looking for something to replace Allah with. Putting Allah first does not mean pretending you're okay. It means refusing to let your heartbreak become your highest authority. Because heartbreak is incredibly deceptive. It wants all of your attention. Let me give you examples. You wake up thinking about her, you sleep thinking about her, your imagination that will never happen, you replay them in the divorce, you compare yourself to other men, you stalk, you regret, and then you fantasize. Soon, your entire emotional life begins orbiting around one human being. That is when heartbreak quietly becomes an idol of the heart. Not because you bow to it, because you obey it. You follow wherever it leads. Allah never promised you a life without pain, but He never asked you to surrender your worship to your pain either. Which is why the first battlefield after divorce is not your emotions. It's your obedience. When your heart says, skip your prayers, you continue to pray. When your heart says, numb yourself with haram, you refuse. When your heart says, Allah has abandoned you, you answer with trust instead of accusation. Your salat becomes the rope holding you above the flood. Don't cut the rope because the storm feels unfair. Hey, a broken-hearted Muslim man who still stands before Allah 5 times a day is not weak. He's a warrior carrying wounds while refusing to drop his shield. Many men ask, why did Allah let this happen to me? But that question rarely moves you forward. A better question is this: what is Allah removing from me, revealing in me, or rebuilding through me? Sometimes divorce exposes hidden idols or idols you never knew existed. Maybe you are not just attached to your wife. Maybe you are attached to some of this or all. You are attached to being chosen, admired, validated, respected, desired, understood, being right, being the victim, and being loved in one very specific way by one very specific person. Sometimes Allah allows the relationship to break because your heart was holding on to His creation tighter than it was holding on to Him. Not because He hates you. He wants your heart back instead. And sometimes Allah removes what you cannot let go of to give you what you would never have reached while holding on to it. That is painful. But it is also mercy. If you are rebuilding after divorce, structure matters more than feelings. That's exactly why I created the Muslim Man Rebuild Playbook. Inshallah, it will help you rebuild your discipline, emotional control, spiritual routine, fatherhood, leadership, and sense of purpose one day at a time. The download link is in the description below. And if you're looking for personalized guidance, come and apply for a private strategy call. We'll identify where you're stuck and map out a practical path forward grounded in faith, responsibility, and disciplined action. If this message challenged the way you've been thinking about heartbreak, let me know in the comments. What has Allah been trying to rebuild in you through your divorce or a broken relationship? I would genuinely like to hear your reflection. And if this resonated with you, subscribe to the channel. Every video here is for Muslim men rebuilding with dignity after divorce.